Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Karen, and on my channel I help you bridge the gap or close the gap between the English that you learn in the classroom and the English that's actually used in real life. And today I have another listening practice video for you. We're going to be listening to a man, and he's been nominated for Australian of the Year. Now, when you're nominated for something, it means that you've been included in the list of people who could possibly win an award or a prize. So here in today's listening practice, he's been nominated, he's been included in the list of people who could win the Australian of the Year award. As per usual, I'll play the file 4 times for you, twice at the normal speed, and then another 2 times at a slightly slower speed. And today, I'd like you to try and write down what you hear. And then afterwards, we can talk about a few things that he says today. Okay, let's listen to him.
I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it, but yeah, we're about to fly up there after this. Yeah, as I said, I think I'm making up the numbers, but what a huge honour to even be nominated, and yeah, it's a bit going on. I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it, but yeah, we're about to fly up there after this. Yeah, as I said, I think I'm making up the numbers, but what a huge honour to even be nominated, and yeah, it's a bit going on. I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it, but yeah, we're about to fly up there after this. Yeah, as I said, I think I'm making up the numbers, but what a huge honour to even be nominated, and yeah, it's a bit going on. I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it, but yeah, we're about to fly up there after this. Yeah, as I said, I think I'm making up the numbers, but what a huge honour to even be nominated, and yeah, it's a bit going on.
I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it. But yeah, we're about to fly up there after this. Yeah, as I said, I think I'm making up the numbers, but what a huge honour to even be nominated. And yeah, there's a bit going on. Now let's talk about a few things that he said today. The first thing that he said was, I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it.
I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it.
Lose it. This is informal, and if someone loses it, it means that they can't control their emotions anymore. They can't control their feelings. So something happened, and now they can't control their emotions anymore. They can't stop crying or laughing, or they get really, really angry. For example, if your child does all these small things that annoy you, and then one day he just does one small thing again, but now all these small things have grown into one big pile of annoying things. And this one small thing today that is added to the pile, this one small thing has now made this pile too big for you, and so you lose it. You get really angry at him, you shout at him, you punish him. You can't control your anger anymore. This can also happen when you're really stressed. You might be so stressed that one small thing during the day will be too much for you, and so you lose it. So like the parent in my previous example, you might get really angry and start shouting at everyone, or you might start crying and you can't stop crying. So whatever it was that happened could be really big, or like in my examples, small things could slowly build up, they could slowly increase, so that one small thing that's added to the pile will just be too much, and that's when you lose it.
I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it.
He then says, As I said, I think I'm making up the numbers.
As I said, I think I'm making up the numbers.
Make up the numbers starts with the phrasal verb to make up. And to make up is one of those phrasal verbs that has a lot of different meanings. Here, it means to make the number or amount complete. A good example is when you have a sports team. A sports team always has a certain number of players. A rugby team has 15 players. A soccer team has 11. So if one of your rugby players is sick or injured, you still need an extra player. You still want 15 players to be on the field. Let's pretend for a second that there are no subs. There are no substitutes. So there is no one to replace this sick player today. But you still need an extra player. So you ask someone who doesn't even play rugby to come and play in your match today. So this person is just making up the numbers. 15 players is a complete team, but you only have 14 players. So you need this one person to make up the numbers. Here, he thinks that he's just making up the numbers. There are a certain number of finalists for this award. They need to nominate a certain number of people. He's saying that he was just included on this list because they needed to add one extra person to make this list complete, which isn't true. It's a very prestigious award. It's very important. It's very special. People don't just get randomly added to this list. So he's just joking here. He's downplaying his nomination. Like he's trying to make it seem like his nomination is not that great. It's not that special. I briefly mentioned this about Australian culture in this video, when we don't want to look like we're better than everyone else. So even though you've been nominated for this amazing award, you still want to show everyone that you're still just a regular person. And one way that people do this is by making a joke, like he did.
As I said, I think I'm making up the numbers.
He continues and says, but what a huge honour to even be nominated.
But what a huge honour to even be nominated.
Firstly, the word honour. The letter H is silent. We don't say the letter H in this word. And also notice how we spell this word in Australia. We tend to follow the British spelling rules in Australia. Now, honour can be used as a noun or as a verb, and here it's being used as a noun. It has a few different meanings, but here it's being used to mean something has happened and that you're very proud of it because it's something that doesn't happen very often. An example of this is if someone asks you to be their maid of honour or best man at their wedding. In this video, I talked a little bit about the people who are in a bridal party. So you can watch that next if you'd like to learn a little bit more about this. Now, weddings don't happen very often, and being asked to be part of the bridal party happens even less often. So if someone asks you to be their best man or their maid of honour, you might want to say during your speech at the reception something like, "It was an honour to be asked to be the best man." And you can also say, "I was very honoured to have been asked to be the best man or maid of honour." This is used very often in speeches when you are asked to give a speech somewhere, for example, because people usually feel very proud to have been asked to give a speech at a large event or function. Here he said, but what a huge honour to even be nominated. He got nominated for the Australian of the Year award, so he feels really proud to have been nominated. He's not talking about winning the award. He's already really proud to just be nominated for the award.
But what a huge honour to even be nominated.
And the last thing that he said was, and yeah, there's a bit going on. But he said it more like, and yeah, it's a bit going on.
And yeah, it's a bit going on.
Firstly, to go on. This phrasal verb has a lot of different meanings, but here it just means to happen. I actually talked about this phrasal verb in my 30-day phrasal verb challenge, so I won't say much more about it here. Have a look at your notes again if you've forgotten this phrasal verb. What I do want to talk about today is how he said this sentence. While I was thinking about what to say in today's video, I said this sentence out loud to myself. So in my mind, I was thinking these exact words. Yeah, there's a bit going on. But what I actually said was, yeah, spit going on, which I thought was really strange. I've never noticed this before. So even though I was thinking the word there, I didn't say it. And he did exactly the same thing. So this seems like another shortcut that we take, and I didn't even realize that we did this. Now, of course, if I'm talking to you, I always try and speak much more clearly so that you understand what I'm saying and what I'm trying to teach you. But if I'm talking to another Australian or another native English speaker, I would just say, yes, but going on. Really strange. And one other thing that I wanted to mention here was going on. I've talked about this in previous videos. Words that end with ing can sometimes be said with the schwa sound and the n sound. So instead of going, sometimes we say goin', talking, talkin', doing, doin'. Again, I'm not saying that you should talk like this. I'm just saying that you will hear other people say it like this, again, because we're taking shortcuts. Going on, we have a consonant sound and a vowel sound right next to each other. So when speaking, these two words tend to be joined together to make one long word. Going on.
And yeah, it's a bit going on.
Please give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to press the subscribe button and also the bell if you'd like to know when I have a new video out for you. Let's listen to him one more time at the normal speed.
I don't even know what that would mean to me. I'd lose it. But yeah, we're about to fly up there after this. Yeah, as I said, I think I'm making up the numbers, but what a huge honour to even be nominated. And yeah, it's a bit going on.
Thank you for watching today. Keep practicing, stay safe out there, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye. Why is my skin so sticky? What is that? Where did I get that? Is that in my jumper? What is that? Okay, that's weird. I'm just gonna go wash my arm. I don't know where I got that from. What is that?